Come on. Yeah, the fabulous 8-Bit Bros program. You can check them out here on Ironic Radio Network. 8-Bit Bros. That's number 8. Then bit. Then bros. One word. I strongly encourage you to stay tuned for that. And if you want, they also have a Facebook page and a much better live show. Anyway, 8-Bit Bros, 8 p.m., Ironic Radio Network.
It's 8 o'clock, and you know what that means.
Oh, what up, people? It's 8 o'clock minus 1 hour. That would be 7 o'clock on Wednesday.
It's 8 o'clock
on Wednesday. It is 8 o'clock somewhere. I know. I was trying to think of like catchy things to say, for Wednesday, and all the ones that pop into my head, you just can't say.
Yeah, right. I know. Whip them out Wednesday. I mean,
yeah, you can't say, wow, it's Wednesday, because you might get in trouble or anything of that nature. Anyway, this is the 8-Bit Bros. We got a great show planned for you this evening. This is not a kid-friendly show. Adult language, adult content. Do the right thing, people. Put your kids in the closet.
Welcome back to another fun-filled fact debacle we like to call the 8-Bit Bros Show. I can say it this week. Center box gets a square.
What up, people?
Yeah, it's Ren. You know it by now. Web boy over here to the left, to the right, depending on what planet you come from, and on the opposite side, 846 miles south, the one and only. Something loud. What up, gents?
What's going on?
Yeah, it's Wednesday. You're right.
It is Wednesday.
You can't. It's so hard to come up with something. I mean,
yeah.
You can't say, "Oh, it's Wacky Wednesday," because I mean, every fucking air, radio, television, vlog, VJ, whatever, has used.
It's Wild Wednesday.
Yeah, that don't work.
No.
I used the Wednesday rendition for the Monday Angry Dandelion. Remember, we started as a Wednesday show.
Yes.
And it was all right. And here we are on another wonderful Wednesday evening.
Oh, well, okay. Wednesday night would have went with the all right. But yeah, it's just hard. I mean, even like, it's 8 o'clock and you know what that means. It's like so hard to get away from that. But it's 8 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, right now, currently out in the middle of the ocean, though.
Yeah, I know.
Like
no, so, in a week.
About an hour off the coastline there.
In a week or two, I might actually come up with something new. I probably doubt. Oh, it went away. It came back. It went away. You hear it? It's coming and going now. It's weird. This whole fucking day is weird. This weather is weird. Everything's weird. Where do you want to start?
What have y'all been doing? Like, we really haven't talked about what the fuck anybody's been doing in a while. Like, just what we've been doing in general.
It's a good point. Go ahead. Start it off then, bro.
I mean, you know me, in my free time, like, now that I've been working, my hours are really weird, but I've adjusted to them very well.
That's right. You got a whole new position now, right? Or just new hours?
Well, it's an extension to my hours, but still in that same time frame. But my 12-hour cycle is completely backwards from everybody else's. Because my midnight, I'm at work, where everybody else is like getting ready for bed or in bed or whatever, on their for midnight.
Sure.
And mine is noonday. I'm asleep. Like, I don't know nothing about what daylight as far as early morning is, except for when I'm hanging out after work till the sun comes up. Because I got my boys at work, and when we get off work, we like to hang out.
Yeah.
And so we get together and we hang out, and, we sit around and bullshit till like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Motherfuckers is like, all right, man, we'll do it again tonight. We'll see you later. And so my day cycle is so different
It's got to be tough to flop that around when
It's
your
taken a
whole life.
while to get to this point.
Yeah, I mean, your whole life, it's all about the sun. Adjusting the fucking clocks for the sun. It's all about the sun. Now you're in that total opposite fucking, I like to call vampire shifts.
Yeah, and eating vitamin D.
Hell yeah.
Eating
Or,
vitamin D every day
yeah,
because I'm not seeing much of it outside
yeah,
of.
yeah, but you're probably getting plenty of vitamin E from the fluorescent lights in the buildings.
We don't necessarily all our. We just did an up convert on most of our lighting system throughout our building,
Right.
and we're an LED system
Oh, okay. See, yeah,
primarily now.
the
It's very bright in the E-reg section, like of
sure.
the line now. Like it was weird because we didn't have a bunch of lights down there. Like there was a couple of them that just weren't working and stuff, and it wasn't a problem. You could still see very good because of all the other lighting in the building.
Yeah, yeah.
But they put these lights in, and it's fucking daylight underneath the fucking belt now. Back,
You'll have LED lights in the house somewhere, right?
well, yeah,
Okay. So do you remember the very first time you bought them? You were like, I'm gonna pay fucking $30 for these, and you take them home and you put them in, and you turn the light on, and you're like, depending on your room, it's either this is way too fucking dark or, oh, this ain't so bad. And then, like in 3 minutes, them motherfuckers get all their juice,
yeah, they're fucking sunshine at that point.
and then it's way too much light in one room. Like if you got a ceiling fan that has four globes, you're fucked.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You're fucked.
that's bad form.
You got three globe, you're good. Two's even better, but they don't even make that shit anymore.
No, but
You,
and now you just get single. I don't even think you get an option anymore
oh, one.
as far as lights are concerned, though, because like everyone, all the fans I've been looking at, if you're gonna get one that say, "Hey, this is an LED fan," they
Yeah.
all got center globe, single LED panel system right there in the middle of them. You know, it's and that's everything I've seen so far is like along that line. I'm looking for one for this room actually,
I've got
and
a
in the bedroom.
I got an LED light outside. Okay, it's a LED floodlight. Fits right where you'd put a normal, decent bagel size, floodlight.
Right.
This fucking thing's got like 80 LED panels on it. When
Yeah.
I turn it on, you could land a fucking plane here.
Yeah.
It's like holy shit, lights
Oh,
up the whole block.
as much as they brightened up the area, our maintenance guys still have flashlights that are brighter than the lights that we have.
Eh,
They're ridiculous.
concentrated power though, that's why.
Yeah, they're looking into all the little cracks and crevices of the belts and shit, making sure everything's good, running
I
the
have
way
one.
it's supposed to.
I have one of them little itty bitty fucking thin, like double A battery with
A little pen
flash.
light.
Yeah, yeah, pen light, but it's a snap on. It's bright as like all hell, and that's specifically in my toolbox.
Yeah,
That's what stays.
yeah.
It's go,
You got to
go,
always have a good one to be able to see into some of them
yeah,
fucking spaces. Some of them spaces is rough.
I know. I was thinking about getting another one just to keep in the car with all the fucking bullshit I've been doing inside the car lately.
Right.
And that's where my time has been consumed. Is
Oh, well, see, I've got the whole switch of time, and then I've got
yeah,
this new time hour where, like I said, it's weird, like hanging out with people at like you get off work at like 4 in the morning, and y'all hang out for a couple hours, and all of a sudden it's like 6 in the morning, and you look at the clock, and you're like, oh, it's 6 a.m. But it might as well be 6 in the afternoon
yeah, yeah.
as far as we're really concerned about it because like I'm still up till like 8 o'clock. I game like in those hours.
Yeah.
So I've started playing a bunch of different shit. You can see on the little like run sheet, I added a bunch of shit like that I was actively doing here recently. Um, with Near Automata, Risk, Quiplash, Binding of Isaac. Binding
Yeah.
of Isaac, I haven't got to get into the update yet, which today was the new DLC. The
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a new expansion to the game. So, um, but dude, Risk and Quiplash. Kind of
Risk
find out
at
I'm actually pretty fucking good at Risk. I
Risk
mean,
as in
I played a
medical
lot growing up.
back. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, board game, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they finally recreated it properly.
Who did we know who was playing that? We had friends playing that.
I mean, primarily me.
No,
I was playing that other version too. What was it, Global Assault or whatever that was? The one that
dudes.
had the cat and the
Yeah.
fucking zombie and all that bullshit on it. Like that one was okay, but it still wasn't right. It just didn't. It wasn't very risk. This new version that I'm playing, it's over Steam is where I'm playing it, but it's Steam and mobile.
Yeah.
Um,
Speech coach and those guys were playing Risk.
yeah, yeah, they
Yeah.
were playing also.
Right. Wait.
I played with them a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I know
Well,
you. Yeah.
now it's this Risk Global Domination,
I'm familiar with this.
and it's free to play.
Yeah, it pops up in my ads and my other games I'm playing.
Yeah, it's free to play. So if anybody out there is looking to get down on some free to play Risk, I mean, I
There's no
bought
such
in over here because I wanted all the crazy maps and shit.
There's no such thing as free to play. It's here's the shell. It's gonna cost you money at some point. Period. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, with the Risk free to play system, what it is there's a coin.
Yeah, you're gonna need coins at some point.
Well,
$4.99.
it's 5 coins to set up a game or join a game,
Oh yeah, okay.
and so that's
I mean, make
you start
coin.
your free to play with 150 coins.
Right.
But if you purchase the content, like the expansions and stuff, you get infinite coins.
But sure. Sure. Understandable.
Yeah. So
But
if you buy into the game, you do get like unlimited stuff. But if you decide to just do free to play, then you earn tokens over time doing things.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's somewhere in the math of those coins it would misbalance to where you'd have to end up like buying some coins or something.
It's
Like
in
I'm
everything.
sure because of the
Yeah,
free to play
yeah.
model the way it is, like I'm
Yeah, I'm
sure
playing-
that token system is where it's at. But I like the fact that there's actual bypass too. That's a one-time bypass. It's not a.
Right.
It's not like buying season passes in Fortnite or Call of Duty where you gotta buy the new season.
Every 3 months, $14.99.
Yeah. You know, so at least this is like a one-time purchase, and then you just get your unlimited shit and all the maps. Like,
I mean, and trust me, I have no issues with free to play. I'm just telling you, at some point, it's going to cost you money.
oh well,
People-
yeah, no, it's
people-
definitely. I mean, that's almost a redundancy. I said free to play. Like everybody knows that by now. There's
Yeah.
nobody out there who has any misconception of free to play being a game that you just play for free. Even though I have still proven that to be true with Raid Shadow Legends, even though it's one of the most overhyped games that's ever existed on mobile, free to play.
Yeah.
It is one of the games that you can really play the shit out of it for free to play.
Dude, I can't tell. Can't tell you
impressive.
how much money I have dumped into that Walking Dead mobile game that
Oh,
we were all.
Dude, you and fucking Goog, man, y'all solo ruled the fucking roost for a while.
Me and oh god, I forgot his fucking name now. Oh Jesus Christ, he lives right over here in Lawrence Harbor as part of our group. Not Kenya. Anyway,
Canva.
right, Kimba. Me and him are fucking ruling the roost right now because Goog is up to his eyeballs with work.
Well, yeah.
That he's not. I don't even see him logging in at all.
Tis the season.
But yeah, I mean, we're still playing that game, and I'm still dumping money into it. Dumping money into it all the time. Oh, season pass. Okay.
Yeah, see, but that's what I'm saying though. On other free to play models, like it is very, very true. It is very, very true.
You know, and I don't want to say it's not
l-
pay to play. That's
I
for
didn't
sure.
get close with Risk before I decided I was going to buy into it. Like once I started playing and saw how the base game was and everything else, I was like, oh yeah, this gives me my old cozies. This is nostalgia gaming right here. This plays like Risk.
Yeah.
And so for me, I had no option. I was
The,
like,
the one
I'm
thing
just
I
gonna
do,
do this.
the one thing that I like, and I'm not bothered by at all with this, season pass, dump money into the game is like the mobile game I'm playing. It doesn't make me better than anybody else in the game. It just makes my character stronger so I can progress further into the game.
Right.
Which is cool. Like the season pass for The Walking Dead. It's a bunch of fucking chests, and they give you cards for your characters or weapons.
Right, which
Or
is just upgrade ascensions.
yeah, it just upgrades. And it's not like I'm out there fighting anybody else. I don't know whatever happened to that DLC they were supposed to drop, if you remember.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with that. That seemed to disappear. But a lot of the games are like that. I mean, maybe Clash Royale may be a little different because there you're playing against other players. So in that case, if you're able to pay money to build a card deck, to me that's pay to play. Ren, thoughts? You play one of them games.
I play Clash Royale, and every season I pay my $4.99 and get double the trophy road that I would
Right.
normally get if I did free to play.
Right.
Outside of that, I don't really dump a lot of money in. I've been playing so long, I have gems out the ass that
Yeah.
I don't even spend them, and I just spend the in-game coin.
Right. Okay.
So I don't I spend $5 a month. Every now and then, if there's a really good chest deal,
Right.
maybe once every 3 months, I'll drop $20 because it's like 250,000 gold and a bunch of chests.
I've done that in this trailer park fucking boys game I'm playing, which is nothing more than just
I mean, and it's sound logic behind the free to play model. I mean, I think we established it a long time ago when we were talking about Clash Royale and
Brilliant.
how free to play gaming you can
Sure.
justify and enjoy and how it makes sense. Like
Yeah.
with specifically with Ren's case of how he's been playing so long that the 5 a month is nothing.
Right. Yeah.
It's essentially very well worth what the time he gets to spend in it.
Might as well just subscription based to it and say
Yeah,
fuck it.
yeah,
Let me cancel at my own will instead of remembering to go buy it.
yeah. So for this, it works in that way.
Apple
The
would
other
love.
thing, and I want to extend an invitation to you guys to try and pop into one of these games. We get Quiplash going.
Quiplash 2. I am not familiar with that game.
Okay, so it's a Jackbox party game.
Okay.
So it's a tabletop game of sorts
Yep.
called Quiplash. The newest version is Quiplash 3 out of the Jackbox Party 7, but you do not need to buy this game. Okay?
Right.
We get together and play, and it's me and all the Bobs, and we got sewn in this week too. For one, just like Among Us, how we all get together and play, and we're all in Discord. Well, this works via Discord. So one of our guys in Montana owns Jackbox Party 3. It's got
Right.
Quiplash 2. He brings up a game of Quiplash and shares the game in Discord.
Right.
You punch in the room code on the website and give yourself a nickname, and you're automatically entered into the game.
Right.
At that point, all your cues and everything take place on your website, and you watch the game play out on the Discord screen. You're not seeing his answers or what his interactions are. You just see the game play out in the Discord screen. So you make your own answers up on the website, and then the game transpires on the Discord.
Yeah, it's a fill in the blank type of game, right?
Yes.
I think I'm looking it up now, and I'm vaguely remembering the first one.
You've probably played the tabletop version of it somewhere at some party somewhere. Somebody brought this out before. It's been around for a while. The game itself.
Anybody says to me Jackbox, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Let's go. Let me take a look.
Yeah, but
It's always-
so they're all the way up to Jackbox Party 7 or something like that. I think is where they're at now. Is the newest one on Steam. With some updates to some games, but once somebody owns a Jackbox Party Pack, nobody else in your group really needs to buy it because nobody has to own it to join the game. You can join it over mobile. You can join it over the website.
Right. The only reason to own it is if you wanted to start your own.
Yeah, if you want to start your own game. We have 2 people in our group who own it because one or the other may or may not be on when we decide we want to play.
Is this a cross-platform game?
I mean, considering,
I mean, I know it's available for everything. Xbox, PlayStation. I even
yeah,
think it's
I'd imagine that all you got to do is have the room code to join.
yeah. I don't have no idea. I was curious.
Well, that's
It
what I'm
doesn't
saying.
it
If
doesn't
you've
really
got a
say it.
room code to join, you'd
Yeah.
have to test access. Like if you're on the Xbox and enter a room code, if it lets you into that game.
I mean, this shit's even available on an Amazon Fire TV.
Yeah, because literally all you need to do is inpunch a room code and you join a game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can pick it up on Humble. I mean,
It's good shit. Like we've been having a lot of fun. Like so,
no Stadia though, because
this is a weird thing with the COVID. Like maybe it brought some people inside who hadn't for a while, but this development of gaming, instead of just doing like BS games that are just like, oh, let's have fun and play games. Like I've seen a lot of this tabletop gaming stuff start to kind of become more common.
mm-hmm.
Like we even played Mount Your Friends last weekend. Like
Looks like you're in a tree, by the way, Ren.
Hmm?
Looked like you were drinking the trees.
No.
nice.
Green screen,
That's that fresh water.
right?
That's that fresh water. Come right off the tree.
And siphon through a huge leaf.
Siphon
Right.
through a cypress.
Like why can't I buy Amazon water in a bottle yet? And I don't mean Amazon.com. I mean like Amazon rainforest water.
Like
Can't
Amazonian
you
rainforest
can
water.
bottle and sell that? I mean that isn't that going to be the freshest water you'd find? Sorry, it came up. Squirrel just popped into my head. Like wow, I would think that the Amazon rainforest would have the freshest water.
Yeah. Would you be allowed to tap into that source? That would be the big thing.
But if you're just collecting it from rainwater falling off the massive leaves,
That shit would have to be expensive as fuck.
I don't know, a couple 55-gallon barrels all over with some piping to a big truck, and when the truck gets pull the fuck out, I
Yeah,
don't know.
see, that's way too. That's too big of an operation.
But yeah, well, I'm not saying
It has to
huge.
follow certain stringencies, and like I
Think
said,
about it.
being able to tap into a source like that, you're seriously trying to tap into a source by putting all these barrels all over the place, and that's not acceptable. You might be able to get away with like capturing a little bit of this stuff, but
Right,
not like some barrels of this stuff.
I need 100,000 gallons of Amazon rainwater every year, and I could think we could easily sell one bottle of water for $100 or more.
Yeah, but they say that the reason that the rainforest works the way it does is because that water is returned back to
I
the
know.
soil in which
Yeah.
it came. So you can't harvest a resource that is vital to the environment.
It's like most states in the United States, you're not allowed to harvest rainwater. Did you know that?
Hmm.
Look it up.
Yeah, it's a fact.
You're
And
not allowed to harvest rainwater. Go figure.
what city cisterns, make
I,
make
I,
a mathematical
I
quota
think it's
on water supply for the city.
yeah. I think it's all about the cost of delivering drinking water, or excuse me, water straight to your house.
Yeah.
If you could collect it and use it to water your lawn, man, they'd be losing out big money.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you eventually would cause a dip in the water supply to the city to get water to your house. So you would affect your own environment.
Maybe my water comes
If
in.
your whole neighborhood decided that they were just going to start collecting their rainwater, you have a problem.
Yeah, I guess so. If it was everywhere,
Yeah,
because
if one goose feels
water.
that he's got the fucking gumption to do it, then what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and everybody else around you is gonna start piloting up on that program as well.
I
So
do
the
believe it.
problem you face is you end up thinking you're doing something
Yeah,
in the mind of good health and humanity, that oh, this is good, being natural and harvesting and doing. Well, no, you're essentially stealing from the system, in which actually takes care of everybody.
oh, look at this. There's a new bill. In New Jersey, I can harvest it. It's illegal.
I mean, I would only understand it not being illegal in rural areas that run off of wells where they harvest their own water anyway.
Oh, laws have changed everywhere. Last I looked this up, legal, encouraged, encouraged. It's encouraged in Florida, South Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, MD. What's MD?
Maryland.
Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Hampshire. Everywhere around New Jersey is encouraged. Go do it. Just do it. Do it. North Carolina, it's legal with restrictions. Don't know what the restrictions are. I didn't look it up. I'm sure if I
Well,
click.
it's because we have enough rural environment that is on well systems. The restrictions are that if you're going to be collecting rainwater, that they have to be done to a certain criteria in order for you to collect it. It also can't be in direct impedance of some natural runoff in the areas and stuff like that. Like there's rules about how to balance this system between the environment and consumption. So
North Carolina, rainwater harvesting is legal with two laws regulating it. There is a law because the House Bill 609 is what it's called, and that's there to make sure you do it in the most effective harvesting practice way. So you can't just put up a bunch of fucking garbage bags in your backyard and tilt them all and lean them to a trough. No, that's not going to work.
right, well, you can't just put up a tarp across everything
Right.
and run it all off into one spot.
There's a Senate Bill 163 that recognizes the benefits of harvesting rainwater for the state's future water supply.
Right.
So what are
And
they
this
saying?
is what I
The
say
state sell it
again.
back?
This is what I say again, and why I make my plea the way I do for the greater good of all mankind. It's best that we not individually impede on the process of something that does take care of all of us.
Right. Yeah. Like in Ohio, rainwater harvesting is legal for both non-potable and potable uses as long as the water system is providing drinking water to fewer than 25 people.
Right.
So, which basically means in Ohio, it's illegal.
There's plenty of places in Ohio that it provides water to fewer than 25 people.
I guess so, maybe.
Yeah, Ohio's got a lot of rural environment.
But it's interesting that in a lot of places, I mean, it's legal everywhere now. There were times
Cincinnati,
when.
Cleveland, Athens.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like those are the big areas.
So, Ryan, what's on your shirt besides danger?
No filter.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Excellent. I totally need.
Hilariously, I was flipping through pictures last night and ran across New Orleans with Max Filter. All of us.
I talked to him
I'm
recently.
sitting there talking to my buddy about like the different shit going on in all of these pictures, and I roll across that one, and it's got the fucking pink boa over me, hugged up with Lee, and
Oh, boy.
the waiter on one side and Max on the other side of the picture, and I'm like, yeah, so this is what happened this day that made this picture possible.
That might,
I was like,
that
this guy deserted a party that he was with, and this guy just decided he was going to hang with us.
that might be the photo where I decided to take my
No,
penis
that's
out.
not the one
No?
because this was the one that was posted on Facebook, and we
Oh no, the one that was posted on Facebook was the one with my penis out, and
well, that is not one of the ones that I have in my Facebook.
I
photos.
IDK didn't realize it for a year, and I think Facebook let it go, maybe because it was that small.
Well, I think it was funny because the picture that I did see was you hiding as you were pulling it out, and then you stepped out into the photo. Because you were hiding behind someone, and then you stepped out, and you can see in the picture of you hiding that you're reaching.
No,
So this is the telltale that you're
setup.
definitely going to pull it out
setup.
inconspicuously.
It's the setup.
Yeah, I was like, he's like, wait, your buddy did that? I was like, oh yeah. I was like, this trip was the one that Webb just couldn't keep his dick in his pants.
Came out in the pool too. Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't come out on the scooter, but it would have been a
Yeah,
reason.
I was like, this was just the one trip that Webb just had a problem. I was like, I explained the sitting by the pool situation. I was telling him about that too. He was like, like, "What the hell was your buddy on?" I was like, just drinking. I was like, I was like, you got to understand, we set up a government. I was like, we were going hard. I was like, we were
We had
going so hard
factions.
that people had to be in charge.
We had factions.
Yeah. Well, I told him about the Beer Island coup.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a rough coup.
Yeah.
Whew.
I told him, I was like, yeah, we went through it. I was like, man, I was like, he was like, you can really drink some beer, huh? I was like, I drink a lot of things. I was like, when we go as
Days of
possibly
beer.
are.
Beer Island dropped the dropped the coup when the grenade came out, and we were all like, "Oh no,
Disgusting.
oh no."
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
Going back to
hand
beer.
grenade of what the
People
fuck.
think that I don't understand why people think they're so good, and it's like the staple point of New Orleans. It should, first off, never be served anywhere, and
It's a
have
frozen melon ball.
it's worse than that. It's a frozen fucking lime ball.
Yeah, dude.
Melon, it's lime.
I was telling him, I was like, we drank some drinks that blistered our tongue because the acidity and the citrus was so fucking strong. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I was like, well, we didn't care. We had several of them.
Yeah, that is true.
It was when our tongue was raw that the revolt started, and people were like, fuck that. We're getting on Beer Island. Fuck you.
And And that grenade wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't so fucking big. It doesn't need to be 16 to 18 ounces. It's perfect. It would have been perfect in like a
Yo, what about the people that
ounce
were
shot.
walking around with the 64-ounce tube
I know, right?
of
Go-
fucking grenade?
Yeah. It's not the. It probably took them all day to drink
God,
that
it
too.
still makes my mouth turn inside out thinking about it.
Yeah, you get the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. Totally. Ren, what the fuck you been doing in your spare time?
Oh, Jesus
Mr.
Christ, what spare time? I basically work my day job and then I freelance at night pretty much 5 days a week.
Yeah,
I have
any
4
good,
clients and my day job.
any good clients you working on? Anything that like anything good?
I'm working on 2 website redesigns, building out an entire video platform for a pharma company,
Mm-hmm.
and building out I'm going to be building out a learning management system starting end of this week, early next week.
Oh, that's always fun.
And other than that, I've been helping Lola study for her NCLEX boards, which she took last Wednesday and found out she passed.
Nice. There's a big old.
She is a registered nurse. So now the hunt begins to find a job.
Well,
Now, where that job may be,
yeah.
nobody knows.
I tell you right now, I give you 2 phone numbers if you want to go to Houston. No problem.
We're leaving pretty much nothing is off the table.
I know a nurse who does that now. She's done the Texas trip 3 times so far.
Oh, and one more thing, we can't call it COVID anymore.
No, what do we got to
Oh, yeah,
call
what
it?
are we calling it now?
Now we're back to calling it Corona.
No, I'm going way back. I'm going to Wayback Machine, and I'm going to stick to my guns and just call it the fucking China virus.
Well,
That's it.
No,
I'm just telling you.
That caters too much towards the ability to kind of maybe call it a hate crime. And thank you to New York for
Yes.
arresting and charging that bastard with
Oh.
a hate crime for attacking
Yeah.
a 85-year-old woman.
There was just another one today where the guy took his fucking bike lock and smacked a black dude in the fucking face. And he came out and said, well, I did it because he was black.
Well, this
You-
person I'm speaking of
have-
was a black man who attacked a 85-year-old Asian lady, yelling
Ah.
racial obscenities at her while he beat her.
It's so wrong. I mean, do you remember this when it happened after 9/11? You remember this after
Oh,
9/11?
the Muslim terror at
Oh.
that point that took place,
Every-
and the fact that, like, well, you think about what happened with the massage parlor. The guy went in and killed all the Asian girls in there just purely because
Yeah, 3 fucking spas, 8 people, I believe it was.
something like that. But
Yeah.
did that. Then this targeting here, but it's good to see that like they charged him appropriately. They hit him with a hate
Yes.
crime.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Go to fucking jail
Now
for
that
20.
I think about it, there's the reason why I think I like these glasses. I look like Webb. Holy shit. looking at your glasses, I was like, yeah. I was like, now I think I
No,
know where I found this
this
look.
I actually like better than this. I like that thicker on that side. Yeah. Yeah, it's still a little thicker. I'm looking for something because I'm looking at frames now to get glasses and contacts and just spend the money, do that shit.
Yeah, I decided to start fucking with people, and so I rocked these yesterday at work,
I like them,
and people
but
were
I
like,
like. Oh,
"You wear
cheers.
glasses?" I was like, "No." But it was funny because like three people at work decided to do the same thing. Oddly enough, on the same day, we all just kind of were like, "Bam."
Years ago, I used to wear glasses too. Just a clear lens
We'd
because I liked how they looked.
yeah, we'd see people, we'd see the other glasses people, and we'd just look at them and be like, "Really? Today, you too?" Like, those aren't your
Yeah,
real glasses, are they? Like, nope, nope, probably not.
I tell you though, glasses are going to be a lot of fucking money.
Why is
'Cause
that?
They're
Well,
not as expensive as you think they are.
I've come to realize that I need 3 sets of eye gear.
For you
I
have
need,
three
I
very
need,
distinctive settings that you can't
yeah, I
get a
need,
modular pair to do.
I need contacts.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to need a regular pair of glasses, and then I'm going to need prescription sunglasses.
Now, have you explored the idea of LASIK?
No, I'm going to talk to the doctor about it first. I got to get the eye
Like,
exam and
because
see.
to my understanding, like that is almost like a miracle
Yeah.
drug right now, and I don't know
Well,
about like what they're like further correcting or
yeah.
anything. Like, I'm not hearing about a whole lot about it, but like to my understanding, everything I heard about it, it was like pretty spot on stuff. Like, if you've got okay eyes that aren't really screwed up, that
Right.
LASIK could definitely, you know.
Right. As long as you don't have stigmatisms and shit like that. So what I need to do is get the eye exam, and that will determine whether or not I'm a candidate for LASIK surgery.
Yeah, I
And
mean, it's definitely, I mean,
if
a
that's
solid
the
option
case,
because if what you're talking about right there with contacts and this
yeah,
glass
it's
and
like three
this
and a half grand
glasses,
right.
it's like, well,
Yeah.
you could save yourself a lot of money just by doing this one-time procedure.
Right, it's 3.5 grand right there, just for contacts, glasses, and prescription sunglasses. But in LASIK, it might be the same thing. I don't know, and it doesn't matter because I'm paying it all out of pocket anyway.
And it's just boom.
Right. So if
Oh,
getting
I
surgery,
got all my cards, man. I am officially covered by the UPS.
for me, if I'm a candidate for LASIK surgery where it'll work and it's going to cost as much as buying what I think I want, which is contacts, glasses, and prescription sunglasses, driving glasses. You're talking to lots of sunglasses for when you have your contacts in, so you got regular pair.
Yeah, but see, there's glasses
But
that
but
are
you don't-
adaptive lenses that are
yeah, but
really
they
fucking good. No, 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 no,
don't
no. I
they
think you're
ain't
speaking
Oakleys,
like a
bro.
caveman.
Ain't no Oakleys.
You're
They're
speaking
not a
like a
pair of Oakleys.
caveman. They're way
It's the
better
lens. They make it.
transition
They make the
lenses
lens.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
they're
that.
fucking
transition
amazing.
lenses work for.
It's
They work
great.
for any kind of sunglass that you could possibly want.
Yeah, I know that. I can get the prescription on Oakley lenses and just snap them right into my Oakley frames. I don't
Right.
want regular librarian, day to day glasses that just get darker when the sun comes out. I wear my sunglasses. I wear my, Ren, how many times you ever see me before my eyes started to go bad? Was I not in sunglasses?
Mm-hmm.
A handful of times, maybe. I've gone through more pairs of sunglasses than the two he has put together. Mostly,
Possibly,
because,
but
mostly
also
because of my.
also just saying. I mean, if you're wearing glasses all the time anyway, why not just fucking have them that go with
Because
you the
it's
way
no
they go?
I want my style. That's why I'll get the Oakleys and have the prescription glasses on my Oakleys.
I mean, if
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, that's a personal choice though to
yeah.
want to have two separate pairs of glasses at that point.
Well, it
We're
depends. I
just
mean,
saying that it's not necessary,
no,
and you could get something that you would wear all day that and be comfortable in that did both.
they're just not going to look as cool as a set of Oakleys in the middle of July at a rock concert.
Well, yeah, like I said, sometimes
Yeah.
you just talk like a
Personal
caveman.
preference. Yeah, yeah, no, it is. It's personal preference. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I always drive with my sunglasses on no matter what. Always, even in the winter. Always. I have light sensitive eyes to begin with, so I always need sunglasses. But yeah, for me, if I can do LASIK, I'm down. I'm down. I'll just spend the difference on more sunglasses. You know, I got sunglasses all over the place. There's two pairs in the car. There's a pair on the table over there. I'm covered. I got a pair in a jacket. I'm covered.
Yeah, but if LASIK works, then you don't have to worry about it. You just get
That's
sunglasses.
right. I just buy, yeah, another decent pair instead of, throw out the two crappy ones that are just like throwaways, for the boat, shit like that.
Yeah,
Buy,
I haven't reacquired a new set of sunglasses because I haven't needed them.
I just picked up a pair not too long ago. I only paid like, I don't know, it's like $126 for a pair of Oakley jacket 2.0s, something jacket 2.0s, which
Yeah,
is what I
Q was talking to two of the people she works with about their Oakleys the other day.
the best. They fit nice on my head. I don't feel like they're stretched out. I don't feel like they're pushing in. They fit nice, and that's why I've stuck with Oakley all these years.
Right.
I had a pair of Maui. What are they? Maui Johns,
Maui Jims.
Maui Jims, and with that twisty wire bullshit. You just put it on, put your finger around your ear, and it just wraps around it. And I didn't like that at all. Didn't like it.
I got a like chunk of cartilage behind my ear.
Yeah.
When I do those wraps that it pushes against it, my ears just don't like that.
Yeah.
I can't do that type of stuff. That's why the mask thing is not really been an issue because all of the masks that I have are very soft cushion,
Right.
and most of the ones have those clips,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
slider
Yep.
things
Yep.
that go over the elastic, and
Yep.
so it creates this almost peak point, and I can put those peak points right over my two little nubs that I got here on the back of my ears, and
Yeah.
it's been all right. But I know the glasses you're talking about; those things would go around the back of my ear, and they'd be like, "Oh no, that's never gonna work for me."
Not liking it. And then it got worse when I got the second earring on one side because it was always like sticking right there, like
Oh,
almost
yeah,
trying to be right
pushing it
there.
into your head.
Yeah, and it was like, this is just not going to work. It's not going to work. And of course, Maui Jims, you get $380 for those with the frames that you can't fucking destroy because they're just like little thin pieces of metal
Right.
and pliable. And yeah, it's a lot of money for glasses. They fine in the store, but how long are you in the store trying on glasses? 30 minutes. How long you wear the ones you try on? 15 seconds. A minute maybe if you want to go look over in the mirror and go, yeah,
Well,
let me just.
that's the good part about most of them. They're at a mirror.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So you just put them on and take a look. Right.
Put
So
them on,
you.
take a look. Put them on, take a look.
Yeah, these look good on me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I can probably,
It's not.
that's why I put on these other glasses that I put on. I was like, yo, these look good. I like these. I can actually wear these and look like they fit me. And then I looked at yours and I was like, oh shit. I was like, they actually kind of look like those.
I've been wasting time doing stupid bullshit.
I mean, same here. Like I said, I mean, you heard me, man. With fucking the bullshit games that we've been playing and everything else. Like, it's been kind of that vibe. And same thing with like what I've been doing as far as watching anything. Like, it's Drive to Survive, Inside Narcos, shit on
Yeah.
Netflix, fucking Rise and Fall. Okay, Rise and Fall is a series on
Right.
YouTube, but the one I recently watched was Rise and Fall of the Cruise Industry, like over Corona.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 I know this series. Yeah. Okay. I haven't watched it yet, but it's something I've been interested in.
But yeah,
So I'm.
it literally talks about like how the cruise industry was doing, like
Yeah.
what initiated it, what like thank you Titanic, what it was at right as Corona hit, what impact cruise ships specifically had on Corona.
Them poor bastards, huh? That shit hit, and they were out there cruising around, and all of a sudden it was like, oh no, you ain't coming in. No, no, no.
And
no.
then the cases, then the numbers, then like they were hotbeds, and like there's lawsuits going on and everything else, and now they were showing these ports that are essentially tearing apart cruise ships. Now they just pull them in all the time, tear these motherfuckers apart, and fucking go on about their day. Like there are
Yep.
places that's the big business right now is tearing down
Scrapping 'em.
cruise ships.
Scrapping them.
Yeah,
Big money in that. Yep, scrapping them. But I mean, they're building new ones too. I just saw that whole thing that they're
well,
building new.
yeah. I mean, right
fact-
now the biggest one is insane.
Yeah, Carnival is ready to launch their newest one. I think they scrapped 2 ships,
Never seen
and they
one.
got a new one now. But
I got one
I,
that holds 9,000 fucking people with crew and everything.
it's crazy. I was on a cruise ship. 5,800 was max capacity, I think, or 5820 something was what was on the boat with crew, and that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
When you walk around and there's people everywhere 24
Yeah,
hours a day, the whole time you're on the boat, everywhere you go, there's fucking people.
yeah. It's
They
like
accommodate all of the restaurants, they accommodate all of the bars, they accommodate all of the fucking play areas. Like,
yeah, it's like leaving New Orleans with a plane full of people, and that's what you have for the rest of your staycation at
yeah,
home, wherever. That's it. You just took a whole plane full of people with you, and they are around you all the time.
all the time. And
Yep.
you notice that.
And you only make friends with like four of them.
Well, it's there's two people that you end up possibly making friends with,
Right, right. Having
and
dinner. Yep.
it's somebody at your table for dinner,
Yep.
and it's somebody who's on your on your fucking lifeboat.
Yeah. Yes. When you have to practice.
Yeah, when you get on the boat, you have to do the fucking lifeboat. You meet
Yeah.
somebody there, and y'all start talking. And then at dinner, you meet somebody else, and y'all start talking. And that's the two people that you kind of generally you're gonna be friends with one of those people
That's
by the
very
end of the cruise.
That's very that you are 100% correct. That is very true.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are your people. Like, and you never know who they're gonna be. That's the greatest part about I thought about a cruise was just like, okay, so these are your new friends.
Yeah. See, a little different for me to say anything because I would say easily more than half the boat knew who my crew was. I made sure of it. I was on a boat with asshole Sutter.
Oh yeah, y'all had the whole crew together.
Yeah.
But that's
So
see
I
now
made sure the
that's a
whole
different
boat knew
scenario.
me.
When you take a crew and join a fucking crew, like
Dude, and
that's
I
a different scenario. All of mine have been a little bit less like where it's just like me and maybe one or two other people.
also got to remember I was on a boat with a language barrier. More than half my ship was Spanish speaking. It took me 3 days to remember enough Italian to be able to mumble my way through a conversation. I had some dude in my hot tub with us speaking to me in fucking Spanish, and I'm trying to have a conversation with him using whatever Italian that I make sound like Spanish. And then being the white American asshole of like blah, 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 cigaretto, shit like that. But then you look back and you're like, why did I just do that? Why did I just do that? But dude, for 3 nights I hung out with these three dudes and their girlfriends, except for one dude who was gay. I didn't realize that. Not that it mattered until he started hitting on me, which is nothing new anyway for some reason in my life. But for 3 days, bro, just hanging out with dudes, trying to get past a language barrier. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean
But hearing
that
hearing
is
about
something. The
time
cruise, the train, those forms
yeah,
where you're traveling with people for extended
yeah,
periods of time, like
yeah,
where those character building exercises take place,
yes, big time.
because it's always a different experience, and you know there's no way out of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure
Like
Ren
if and
fucking
every one of
exhausted.
them kind of forces you into a situation where you're like, how do I deal with this?
I mean, you've done cruises, right, Ren?
I did one.
You did one, and you've been down in Jamaica and the islands multiple times.
Yeah,
So,
I've been to Jamaica a bunch of times.
so I'm
I've been
sure you come across that situation, whereas the you're hanging out with people, and you seem to be hanging out with them for a couple of days, and there's that language barrier.
well, the cruise I went on took off out of New York, so no, it was
Yeah.
mostly American. And our ports of call were all
Yes,
continental,
I left that.
outside of Bahamas. And
Uh,
Jamaica, you go to Jamaica, English is the
yeah,
predominant language.
language. Yeah,
I mean,
Back up, Calamari.
British English is the
yeah.
predominant language.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
right.
they have their own language, but it's only probably used within their own households.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, it's like most of your cruise personnel.
Patois.
Most of your cruise personnel is foreign.
Yeah, they're from.
either Swedish or
Ours were all
or
Filipino.
Caribbean or
Ours were all Filipino. The entire boat, 90, I would say 90% of the
yeah, that's common as
wait
well.
staff, casino staff, all that, they were all
Yeah,
Filipino.
that's pretty common as well.
Mm.
There, but they pay to be on those ships.
Oh yeah,
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 they pay rent and essentially to do their job on the ship.
yeah. I mean, they get paid pretty good too.
Yeah,
Oh, they don't get paid good because everything is put up for them.
Well, they still get paid pretty
Your
good.
meals are taken care of. Your room and board is taken care of. Wookie. Wookie worked on a cruise ship for 4 years, and he's like, "It's great because you get to see the world. It sucks because you don't make any money
Oh yeah,
yeah,
as an American, you
because
know.
you're paid very less because instead of, I guess the cruise line that he worked for, instead of paying to be on the boat,
Yeah,
the salary you made was if you made 20 grand a year, it was a lot
yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're getting your meals paid for, your room paid for. You don't pay for any drinks, you don't pay for booze, you don't pay for anything,
All right, it's no
and you
good.
live in pretty like
It's no
shitty
good for an
conditions.
American. It's no good for an American because the cost of living here is so fucking high.
Yeah,
That's I think
that's
the
why
it
they're Filipino
goes
and
directly to exactly to the point you were making that there. Most of them are, I don't want to say foreigners. They're foreign, okay? Because that's a lot of the people I talk
they
with who work.
come from impoverished areas.
Yeah, and they're making college money and 20 grand in Indonesia is a 4-year fucking college degree, where 20 grand in the United States is not even a year's worth of fucking rent.
No, breaking news:
Well, you got breaking news?
Colt
I
McCoy
have,
signs 1 year deal with the Arizona Cardinals to be the backup to Kyler Murray.
oh, that's interesting.
So on from Washington to New York to Arizona,
Uh,
which wasn't
inter-
that from Philly to Washington to New York to
think so.
Arizona?
Yeah, I think so. There was a stop in there somewhere. Ah, definitely stop in there somewhere. Oh, excuse me. That means it's time for another beer. This one's empty.
4 games, 2 starts. Washington football. San Francisco.
Ah,
Cleveland.
right. Well, Cleveland, I knew. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about the
Played
Niners.
for Cleveland. Played for Niners. I thought he. I thought he had a year at Philly too, but that may not be right.
I thought so too, but
It's not. It's not showing here.
it's got to be coming out of him. He's got to have two mics open.
Because 10 to 12 to Cleveland.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I have a microphone in my place, bro.
Okay.
10 to
Just
12 in Cleveland, 13 San Fran, 14 to 19 in Washington, and then 20 in New
Well,
York.
he'd be a good backup there. You know,
Yeah, it
he'll
could
be.
be interesting. I
I
mean,
can't see playing, but
I think Kyler's got it. Did you watch the
pretty
dirt
good.
race?
Yes, I did watch the dirt race.
So
I
you have
watched
any
both.
thought? You have any thoughts on? Yeah, so did I. I watched.
Yeah.
I watched both. Well, I woke up at the end of the truck race, but
Yeah, I napped out in both of them, to be completely honest. What did I think? I
well,
thought it was.
that was me. Morning came
Yeah.
after the truck race had started. So
I thought the throwback was nice to see. The changes and improvements they did from the first race that was there in the dirt to the trucks was massive improvement from everything from the tires to I mean, because the first race you saw there, I mean, cars were pulling into the fucking pits, and the two team members had to come out with them big shit shovels and scrape fucking mud out of pit road because the cars were just dumping, or the vehicles were just dumping mud.
yes, because the unfortunate part was they had rain.
Yeah.
It was there no way when it was planned you could have predicted that you were going to get this superstorm that was going to come right over the racetrack.
Yeah.
And it fucking just dumped so much rain, and the poor truck race suffered for it greatly. And then they realized that they weren't going to be able to get it on Sunday, which it was supposed to be a 9 o'clock race.
Yeah.
Like it was going to take place after so the guys that were running the truck race to get practice for the cup race were in turn going to have to run the cup race to get practice for the truck race. And so that, fortunately, NASCAR decided early, we're not going to get the race in. Just go ahead and postpone it. It looks like it's going to be good tomorrow. They did the both races on Monday with the truck race at noon and the cup race 3:30, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And both went off without a hitch. Both surprising to watch Martin Truex just dominate the truck race the way he did,
Yeah.
especially for a guy with little to no dirt experience.
Pretty
Like
much.
then to watch in the Cup race, the '99 team with Suarez,
Yeah.
a team that is co-owned by Pitbull. To watch them be up there leading and running that number two spot, having a tremendously good car. So that was nice.
Yep.
Bubba Wallace running in the top 10
Good
in
point.
this race for a large majority of it. Also exceptional for a young team with
Yeah.
2311 Racing. I mean, to
Shit, dude, I even watched the fucking one that was on, what was it, like Thursday? The iRacing, where they were
oh yeah,
Captain
yeah,
on the
that was
NASCAR.
just
Yeah,
hilarious. They said that
yeah.
the broadcast was a little kind of cringe though. I didn't watch that one. I watched like highlights from it.
I watched a good portion of it,
Yeah,
and then turned on something else to watch.
yeah, they said a little bit of the banter got a little kind of cringe heavy. Some shots were
Yeah.
thrown that were unnecessary,
Oh
but
well, yeah, shots fired, of course. There's been so many shots fired, especially with what the fuck is his name in the booth? They've been
yeah,
Michael
Jeff
no,
and what's his name?
Clint Boyer.
Clint Boyer. Yeah,
Well, Boyer and fucking Randy LaJoy or LaJoy, there, Mike LaJoy. They've been going at it now for a couple of fucking.
yeah,
I
and
don't
that
but from
got a little
jabs.
more heated recently too. Yeah,
What
they said that that was during that race that something was said where it was like even Jeff had to be like, "Come on, Mike, calm down."
forgot what a fucking race. Period. It's fucked up. I mean, look, it was nice to see. It was entertaining racing as always.
Well, no, Boyer was only put in the field for the entertainment of the broadcast because he's funny.
Yes.
He's funny, but there was no way like was going to be successful out there with that simulator.
Yeah. No.
No, he was put there purely for comedic value,
It would have been
which is
nicer.
fine,
Hamilton
But
that race.
the
I'll tell-
racing could have been more serious if he would have thrown like maybe a different driver into that seat. The fact
Mm,
that they did allow Timmy Hill to join it because there was that controversy beforehand that since it was an invitational and that Timmy Hill had ran all of NASCAR season last year,
right.
ran a full season, and that he didn't get an invitation, especially with his iRacing background. He was like,
Yeah.
shocking, NASCAR. And so things got moved around, and Timmy got a spot. Ended up driving, I think, one of the Penske cars
Do you
for the iRacing
do you
Invitational.
do you think they learned enough? I mean, they're going to rerun the race again next year. It's done deal, or it's already back for next year, 2022. Do you think they learned enough? I mean, if you saw towards the end of the race, there was pretty much no dirt left on the track.
Well, that's not true.
You could see the asphalt racing groove.
That was not what you were looking at.
What was I looking at?
There was 9 foot of dirt at the base of that track and a foot of dirt at the wall. So
Was it
you
9?
never saw asphalt. Okay,
Looks
just so you know,
okay.
what you saw was just like any track. Rubber gets deposited,
Okay, yeah.
and that's what you were looking at. Those tires were wearing down, rubber was
Yeah.
getting deposited, and that red groove was
Yeah.
the problem.
Okay.
If it would
Oh
have
yeah.
blackened
That's
in,
probably another
they would
race,
have
too.
been a little better off. And they tried to expand it at certain points. You started seeing them try to run that higher line, but they were losing too much moisture on the top side, and they just couldn't keep it wet enough up top to to turn that into a racing groove. It would go for a little while, and then it would just start turning to dust.
Yeah.
And so that was a problem that they ended up running into. I think they got enough data on how the track handled because it came apart in some
Yeah.
areas. There's a dip that was there in turn 4 that they just kind of never could get situated. You'd see all the drivers hop through it.
Yep.
But all the cars handled it pretty well. There were experienced rookie mistakes by experienced dirt drivers. When you saw the two favorites with Bell and Larson go to the high side of the track, try to run that, and then Bell had to get out of it because it was not working, and then Larson was like, "Dude, you're in the way," and there was nothing he could do about it. They just kind of came together. Larson checked up and couldn't get slowed down. Then another guy came in and hit both of them. So
True.
it was a kind of they knew how that top line was working, and they pushed their veteran knowledge out there trying to skirt the edge, and it caught him. I mean, Kyle Busch has here recent history been a victim of that himself, where he's out there using that veteran mentality and knowledge and kind of skirting himself to the edge of danger and a little beyond, sometimes making some, a little too assumptuous like moves to. It's like, okay,
I
well, now your veteran just caught up with you. That's what that is.
I
Like,
like
now
what
you think you know too much.
they're doing this week.
I am more interested in what we're going to see here in a couple months with this iRacing City of Chicago street
Yeah.
race,
Yeah.
because this has even more ramifications in the long line. We know that we're probably going to see more dirt races. We know that's a fact, and so there's no problem with that. I like what happened at Bristol. It all looked good. For whatever weird reason,
Just
Martinsville wanted to be like, so when are we next? I'm like,
well,
I don't know,
there-
Martinsville, whether
it's
that's what we want to do. I don't want to pile dirt on that track because it's a flat
no, but
track.
yeah, but they're testing the wet tires there this week.
Yeah, now I like that. I like the
Wet
fact of being
setup.
able to run that race whenever. I've always been a fan as they've started to introduce these rain tires on Goodyear, focusing more on how to make NASCAR tires that can be used in the rain, because
Yeah.
every other sport runs in the rain, and they run on road courses in the rain.
Yep.
So if all these people can do that, then there's got to be a way that they can figure out how
Develop a tire.
to
Yep.
put a tire together. So I've been waiting on it. I liked seeing the dirt tires. That was really cool. And when they started using these new rain tires, when they started running the Roval and running some road courses, I'm like, well, good. Maybe this means they're going to start to develop this tire for these ovals, because it's something that NASCAR has definitely needed. We know speed slowed down. I mean, we saw it with the dirt
Yep.
race. Speed slowed down even for the dirt race. Like, they got even slower. So
True.
we're seeing guys hitting like maybe 98 miles an hour, but it was traditionally not really getting close to that.
Martinsville in the rain would be dynamite.
Oh
I
yeah,
would.
well,
I would
Martinsville just being able to run, period, without interruption, like, as
yeah.
far as that goes, that like any race to be able to run without interruption on
I
that
always like
level.
those cars with the windshield wiper on it.
Oh yeah, with a single windshield wiper, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I wish I could have that on my car. Single. Be so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff, And so for that development, that's cool. I like that idea, but I'm really, like I said, I'm more intrigued to see what kind of development this
Yeah.
partnership with iRacing, to be able to use iRacing as an extension of NASCAR to get into markets that weren't previously looked at, because
Ye-
with iRacing going to Chicago and essentially 3D mapping the city and plotting a race course in it,
Yep. Gives the
they
ability.
got they got
Yeah.
in with the city already in order to go in and 3D map.
Yep.
So this means
Yep.
there's a relationship that started there to be able to go in and do things within the city physically. And so they're going to test these ideas virtually to say, all right, so here's where we could run it. These are and they'll look at that data versus the city's data about operational hours,
Mm.
and you can set routes that keep your city in some kind of flow outside of it and allow a race to take place within it. We had
Uh,
like Indy come to High Point back in the day,
Yeah, we
and run
had
a
it
city
here
race
too.
in High Point.
Yeah, we had it here too, but it was through parking lots.
No, well, I mean,
Yeah.
you navigate where you got to navigate sometimes, and, but
NASCAR was planning on doing it here in Staten Island. Worked on it for a couple of years, and that whole deal fell through.
all that happened in New York was burnouts in Times Square. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the unfortunate thing. A little parade and some burnouts in Times Square. That was essentially
It-
what NASCAR's presence in New York kind of ended up amounting to.
yes.
And the fan base was a little disappointed, and like NASCAR too, as far as not being able to really get something set up. But that's why I bring up Chicago, because this situation opens the door that if iRacing can prove that this virtually can work and can get NASCAR on board with running the mediation that's necessary to put this into real action. I mean, city races in North
Yep.
America, I mean, they see them in a lot of other countries. And then now there's purpose built F1 tracks all over the place. But
They wanted to do that in West New York and Hoboken, and there's another town up there. They had the whole track planned out. Everything was all set to go with it, and then for some reason it never materialized. But they had a whole F1 course planned out, going through neighborhoods and the whole 9 yards, and
yeah,
it was going to be
You know,
dope as fuck. Because
it-
I
yep.
knew people that lived in that area. I was like, I've driven on those streets.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy.
And
yeah,
all we ever got was fucking Indy racing in the Meadowlands parking lot. That's what we got.
yeah.
And just
Well,
that.
like I say, hopefully this is one of those things that maybe materializes a lot differently, especially with. Fortunately, what Corona gave us was a very attentive um, group to watch iRacing,
Yeah, true.
which propelled them to a certain level of notoriety. Which thank you, Dale Earnhardt Jr. for putting all of your backing out there and your celebrity in front of this program as well to go. Why don't we start developing some shit out of this? Because that's why we got North Wilkesboro before it's gone. That's why we got,
Yep.
like these innovations that iRacing is making is because Junior's like, yeah, there's something here. We can do something with this. Let's see what we can do. And they brought him in as a creative mentor to try and propel this program forward to encourage this type of development, which is what led now to the Chicago thing, which is going to lead to, I'm sure, other cities going. So we've had these ideas, and what do you think about maybe coming here and scanning it up and telling us if you think something might work here? Because if you give them an open plan, and city racing could become a thing with
Yeah.
with with our city cars, with the Chevy Camaro and the Ford Mustang and the Toyota Camry. Like you get these motherfuckers out there just like boop, 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 showing people that these little NASCAR cars can do it, and it'll bring some of the body design back down too, where it's not all aerodynamic oval based. This is the structure it needs to be in order to race. You'll get out of this hopefully a little bit more freedom, like you see with like the ARCA style racing and stuff like that, where car design is a little bit more open, or like you see with your LMs and your P1s and stuff like that. Like you see a variant in style. What I was with Drive to Survive, watching season 3 of that,
Yeah.
like the pink Mercedes, as they called the McLarens, because they looked so similar. And
Yeah.
isn't that illegal? Aren't you supposed to develop your own shit? Why does it look so much like that shit? And they investigated it, and of course, McLaren was cleared of any wrongdoing there, uh, because they focused on an air duct that was actually their design. So, it's like, oops, you failed. Like you might have
Mm.
went after something else and maybe got them, because it did look eerily the same as the car that it just whooped the shit out of everything the year before. And then the fact that fucking Mercedes come up with that steering system, like if you look at some of the innovations in automotives that are just currently across the board going on right now, like it's fucking insane. And Mercedes hit one out of the park with that tow job. Like to be able to fucking adjust that steering wheel in and out and tow that
Yeah.
car for straightaways and corners like that, that was fuck. To
Yeah.
watch how they watched it during the very first F1 race that it showed up, because they saw the car on the track and everybody's like, "Is this steering wheel loose?"
You did. Didn't they
Somebody keep an
immediately?
eye on what he's doing with his steering wheel. Somebody tell me, because everybody started watching it. Everybody was tuning in to that feed, and
That's out.
everybody had questions.
They outlawed that for the next season, if I'm not
No, they
mistaken.
outlawed it. They outlawed it currently in the season. They told
Yeah.
them that they would have to remove that component from the car until
Yeah.
further study could be done on its development. Because
Which is good for F1, E1, whatever you want to call them. I mean, the
well,
formula.
Formula E and F1 are both potentially going to use the steering system
Yeah, Formula
if it develops properly.
Formula racing has been on the forefront of technology for the last 10 years. It's what
Well, that's
made
why there's billions of dollars spent in R&D.
yeah, and it's also what made NASCAR push to redesign their cars every other fucking year.
Right.
You know, it was like, well, okay. I mean, yeah, we all love the fucking, buy it on Saturday, race it on Sunday, and then
Stock
own
car
it.
idea of old,
Yeah, and right, own it on Monday theory.
says the man
But,
wearing the good wrench jacket.
that's fucking right. That's
The NASCAR of old.
yeah, it's an original number 3. This is a chase, bro. This is an original. Um, that theory don't work anymore when it comes to auto racing. It's just not safe. Yes, our automobiles are safe, but that's because they're safe and designed because of airbags and shit like that. These NASCARs are totally different. The tubular frame cars, it's totally different. But F1 or the F Series alone, I mean, look, they've been in battery development for the electric series for 9 years. 9 years. You're going back to the days of, yo, did you hear something about this car company called Tesla? That's 9 years ago in the auto industry.
Yeah.
They were on it at the same time.
Yeah, and like the whole Formula E pattern.
Fuck, amazing. I watch it.
I mean, well, I guess this is one of the examples of where technology didn't go through porn. This time it's going through
Right.
automotives.
Yeah.
Where you're
There's
seeing some extreme
Could be a first.
Yeah.
Could be.
technology in a whole new direction. Imagine
Yeah.
that.
For the first time, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
We've got over our caveman mentality of having to fuck it all. So
Because I don't know if there's much more you can fuck. I mean, it's just, I
within
don't
the
know.
realm of what's fuckable, now you need to do something else.
I think everybody has fucked everything. Or not everybody, but a certain group of bots.
There's enough fucking that's
Yep.
gone on
Yeah.
that I think we're over it.
Yep. You wouldn't fuck a tailpipe, but there's people out there who fuck a tailpipe. I wouldn't go over and hump a tree, but there's plenty of people who get naked and hump a tree. So I think everything has been fucked at this point. Everything. But speaking on the technology aspect, I want to bring this one right to Ren, because Ren was the one who said quite a few months, and I think we even had these conversations a few years ago, that AR would win out over the bunch, and it was the next thing. What did you think of Microsoft's deal with the government today? $20
HoloLens
billion for
over
100,
10 years.
yeah, over 10 years, for 120,000 HoloLenses.
My only concern, and it would be my only concern that I would say about anybody who's manufacturing these, I hope you can deliver and it does exactly what they need it to do.
Well, I don't see why not. It's used
Because that's a lot of fucking money to put into the battlefield.
Yeah, but it's already a test. This is already a tested product, though. So
Yeah.
to put the money in now means that we unfortunately didn't get to play with the technology that they really let the military just kind of have it.
Yeah, and then the military.
They'll still drop it to
Yeah, but now
consumer,
how far
but-
out of development are we, though, of the last product that we saw versus what they're probably using right now? I mean, it's got to be ridiculous.
honestly, if you think about the number of 120,000, that's not a lot.
No.
No.
I mean, 120,000, if they dropped it and you had your militarized version, which are probably going to be a bit more rugged, the lenses are probably going to be coated with something that the consumer side's not going to be coated with.
Called the
You
industrial.
know, little nuances here and there.
Called the industrial series.
Keeping it away from the consumer, I don't think has much value to them. I think when you see this hit the military, it might be 3 to 6 months before it's in all of the availability for the consumers to have. and not at the exorbitant price that you could get into the bundle kit for.
I want you to know this. I just did the math. Okay. 120,000 units at $3,500. You ready? What's our episode number tonight?
Oh, flunkies.
Yeah, well, that amount is 420 million.
Oh wow.
Hundred.
But you're also, the backbone to go with that, the tax servers to go with that,
They already have
everything that is going to be needed to.
that. What timeout? Who's got the cloud-based contract for the government?
Not one company.
Microsoft. What are you talking about? That deal was just signed. Amazon is still suing the government and Microsoft. Microsoft got that deal. They are the backbone for our government, Azure. So yeah, okay, maybe there's a hook and a tie-in for the mixed reality portions of Azure. I mean, that's a $500. You get $500 in credit for that when you buy a pair of HoloLens, which you can buy right now and have shipped to you by April 2nd for $3,500. That is the consumer edition. $3,500, you have it at your door April 2nd. What I'm sure the government is getting is the industrial edition, which costs $5,000.
It's still not $21 billion.
Well, no, that's over 10 years. I mean, if
Right.
you're only talking about $1 billion up front, then I'm sure there's more money baked in returns, replacements. Although replacement on your HoloLens is allegedly free and guaranteed to be there before you mail yours back to Microsoft. Allegedly.
Well, yeah, it probably comes with once you get your replacement shipped to you, it comes with a box for you to ship back your other one. I replaced my Apple Watch. I bought an Apple Watch. I did the return replacement whole program thing.
Yeah.
And the day my watch showed up, another box showed up with my kit to take my watch off,
Yeah.
zero it out, erase it, put
Right.
it in the box, and send it back to Apple.
Exactly. I'm sure they do the same thing. It's not like, your Xbox breaks and, well, you can send it to us. We'll take a look at it and then we'll send you out a new replacement. No. Just hold my card. That'd be great. It'd be just great. Just hold, put a charge on my card and put a hold on it. Just give me my.
I wonder if the size of the contract is to keep it out of other countries' hands.
Probably.
Because, I mean, that seems quite exorbitant for... I mean, think about it. They've been developing it for years. We've been talking about it for a good 5 years at this point, at least.
Yeah.
Since they showed it for the first time with playing Minecraft in a living room.
Yep.
And now, 5 years later, the technology has improved. They've streamlined a bunch of things. They've ironed out the software and all of that.
Oh, yeah, I understand you play fucking Flight Simulator on one of these things, and it's insane. And they've gotten them down to where it's not a fucking helmet on your head. It's basically a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a battery pack and microprocessor behind you, but it's still a pair of glasses that you can even flip up. Yeah. You can wear your regular glasses on underneath them. Just flip it up. $3,500. $99 for the carrying case. You should throw that in for the $3,500. Just should be part of it, personally. But also, when you buy one, you are signing your life away that you will never sell it. I don't know what that's about. Does that make any sense? Doesn't to me, but I don't. Whatever. It's weird. But I think it's interesting because Microsoft taking a step into AR and then winning a big contract with the government. It's kind of
my only concern is, can they deliver on what it needs and does it perform in the field?
Yeah, well,
this is very strange for the government to just go and sign a contract with anyone, because to my knowledge, when the government wants to do something, they have to put an open bid out there and accept at least 3.
I think there was an a request for RFP. Yeah, it has to be. It's government. It has to
Yeah,
be.
but that would have led the article. Microsoft wins contract for beating out Company X, Company Y, and Company Z. If
Uh,
that's not listed anywhere in that article, they just said, "Hey, Microsoft, we'll take your HoloLenses for the army."
I'm not seeing anything in here at all.
So they just handed them a contract, which is very, very strange, considering that's not how our armed forces work. There's checks and balances in play to make sure that doesn't happen. When they go and buy a tank or an airplane, they're taking RFPs from at least 6 different ones, and then they narrow it down, and then they narrow it down again, and then they award the contract. And it takes years for it to happen.
Yeah, it started in 2018 when Microsoft won it against. That's what I'm trying to see here. I just found the original contract. The original contract was for $480 million, which pretty much puts it right in line with what I said it would cost. $3,500 a pop by 120,000 is 420 million. It doesn't. The military has already used HoloLens for training, so they've been using it since at least 2018 and before. This article doesn't say who they beat out.
We knew that they were using it. That was years ago. We knew that they were experimenting with checking it out.
Yeah, initially they will purchase a run of 25, 50 prototypes. Okay, so they've already done that because they've been using them, with follow-on production possibility in excess of 100,000 devices.
100,000.
Right. Well, the whole thing's for 120,000. So that makes
Is our armed forces? Are they only using them for training, or are they supposed to be field operational?
I don't know if it's field operated. This could be anything from a dude flying a drone and just having all the diagnostics pumped right onto his screen. I mean, you've seen its uses in the medical industry. I mean, it's been ground tested there for sure, and it's been breakthrough technology in medical industry. Same thing with manufacturing.
They beat out Amazon.
What the fuck does Amazon have?
In 2019, Microsoft secured a contract to provide cloud services.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It can't be. They don't have fucking a.
They're making modified.
Google Glass was the only
modified.
Well, no, there's no. You can't say that because you got Oculus too. You know, there's a couple other IVAS or heads-up display augmented reality goggles out there. I mean, the Oculus Rift is
HoloLens is an IVAS system.
Yes.
That's what he was saying. There are other IVAS systems that are out there, though.
Yeah, anything that's considered augmented reality or virtual reality.
I think Microsoft is really. It's got to be augmented because they need to be able to see, not.
Yeah, it's augmented. It's IV.
Yeah, but
the
like
the basic thing I talked about is immersion's good, but over sensory deprivation's not necessary because you need to have a certain environmental awareness as well as being able to have the other awareness.
Yes.
Situational awareness and all that.
It's because it's been moved, so now I can't get the contract. All right, well, thanks very much. Appreciate that. Government. Fucking with websites don't know how to fix shit properly. It's called a redirect, asshole. But I thought it was an interesting thing, and I think the HoloLens has come a long way from
Wow, their employees are pissed off.
Of course. Well, they've been pissed off because of the ICE bullshit. That's been going on for 3 years. That's every industry. Even Google was pissed.
No. Some Microsoft employees asked the company to hold off on submitting for the cloud contract, and similarly, a group of employees called for Microsoft to cancel the HoloLens contract.
Yeah.
Quote, "We did not sign up to develop weapons. We demand a say in how our work is used." End quote. The employees wrote in an open letter regarding the HoloLens contract.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Google when they got the contract and their employees said, no, we're not working with the government. We're not making militarized bullshit. Apple's done the same thing too. All the employees do that.
Conscientious objectors.
Exactly. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, as long as you don't turn it into cancel culture.
Days later, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella defended the Army augmented reality project, telling CNN, quote, "We made a principled decision that we're not going to withhold technology from institutions that we have elected in democracies to protect from freedoms we enjoy," end quote. The, me- the Army, meanwhile, has suggested the augmented reality technology could help soldiers target enemies and prevent the killing of civilians.
Sure. That's what it's all about, right? Until a missile goes haywire and then you kill civilians and it's a casualty of war. Another thing I don't have an issue with. Sorry. Sorry. War's been that way since day one. There's no way to not have war without civilians or civilian casualties happen. It's impossible. Unless you're going to go fight in the ocean with a bunch of boats. You know? You want to fight, motherfucker? Meet me in the desert.
No.
Yeah. What good does that do? I want to fight you on your land so I can take over it. I don't want to fight you in neutral ground so no one gets hurt.
Well, there was an effort to be made with standing armies.
Sure, kill civilians. I mean,
Well, no, they went out into the middle of battlefields and
yeah,
you know, held,
ambush the tree.
held gentlemanly combat.
True. And of course, that turned into a basic gun draw in Western days. But shit happens. I mean, but every company has gone through that. I mean, it wasn't Google not too long ago where they were pissed. There's the whole ICE situation where so many employees want their companies to terminate contracts because immigration is unfair and you're helping them use facial recognition software. Is it who just turned around and said they wouldn't? Wasn't it Microsoft? They wouldn't give their facial recognition software to any government agency anymore. Period. End of story. And if you still have ours, you're not getting updates for it. It's done. I think there were quite a few companies who turned around and said that. But I mean, I don't know. Selling a pair of
That was
glasses.
more humanitarian rights violations
Sure.
because of the Hong Kong situation.
Yeah, that and the searching whatever the fuck it's called. I don't even remember what it's called anymore. Who fucking knows? Whatever it was wrong. But I think Microsoft's making leaps and bounds. I mean, they made that big acquisition of Bethesda and the parent company there. That was a huge deal. Their cloud-based streaming system is pretty much ready for prime time, which I don't know if you can say directly or indirectly affected Google's Stadia. I don't know.
It was an interesting chunk of competition to throw out there at the exact same time.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure it made Google have to take a gander at evaluating what they were really stepping into.
I mean, as far as they're concerned, they're just not developing shit. That doesn't mean anybody else can't, and the platform still exists. But they won't be making games, and they won't be buying publishers to create Stadia games. So it's just another platform to play Call of Duty.
Currently, yeah.
I mean, is that what it's come down to? Which
Yeah, but everybody
Fortnite.
starts someplace. Everybody starts someplace.
this is true. This is very true. I mean,
Microsoft started out and they were building their own games, and they had gaming companies building exclusive rights games for them. And look at where they've gone. They went and bought a publisher
Hey,
Yeah.
to
Nintendo
create
used to
games
make playing
specifically
cards.
for them.
what was that about playing cards?
Nintendo used to make playing cards.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true.
I mean, Nintendo is a prime example of the complete opposite end of the spectrum from what Google's doing with Stadia.
Well, that's a good point. I'm grabbing a beer. That's a good point. Complete opposite.
Nintendo has nothing that they haven't created on their own platform that they're not willing to share with anybody else, nor will they share with anybody else, and that is how they roll, and they're totally fine with that business model, which is no different than Apple creating their own work suite for their own computers. You know,
Nintendo
it's
did bend for Microsoft.
in what way?
In the cross-platform genre of things, they were the ones that you can actually run like an Xbox dashboard on a Nintendo Switch without hacking it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did bend to share their market with Microsoft, which is
And then
not
you
a
have
common
Sony.
move for them.
No, and
Like
then you have Sony, who's not doing anything.
right. Well, me and Webb were talking about Sony before we went live about the fact that when it really comes down to it, in the grand scheme of things, what does Sony have? Like Sony has exclusives, and that's pretty much about it. Because nobody can argue that the consoles are that much different. That there's one better than the other. They're pretty much on par with each other. They're essentially using the same internal components with AMD processors, and
It's true.
so it's not like you've got a different cased computer, and you're talking about your computer being better than my computer.
From what I understand, though, I guess the real reason why Microsoft nailed this contract is because they're the ones who end to end have done the best work. And when I mean end to end, I mean from the AR device to the AR development environment, which then
They've just
which
went the most complete when Oculus was going around doing, creating VR.
right, but they had that's all they had was
Microsoft went into the AR realm. When Google was doing Google Lens, Microsoft was doing HoloLens, and they just took their time and did it right.
yeah, and I think they're all slightly different in their own. I mean, I'm hoping Google continues on with their lens development. I mean, I know Amazon's working on it now too.
Everybody's working on it. Apple's working on a mixed reality headset.
I like the fact that Google
Yeah.
had it compact already.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
That
think
is the
that's an
one
important
thing.
part of the development for me.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing I'm very curious with Apple being the company that Apple is, that when they drop a pair of lenses, you just know they're going to be dope. They're not going to be ugly in any way, shape, or form. They're going to be something like the pair of glasses you're wearing right now, Webb.
Yeah, no, I could see that being a thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's like how Apple will enter the market when they have the technology and they can squeeze it into a set of iframes like you're wearing right
Stylish.
now. And it's not like the Google Lens where everyone knew you were wearing it and people were freaking the fuck out because you were taking pictures of them with your glasses. When they can get it to that point, that's when they will enter that market in terms of AR glassware, so to speak. And
Do-
that's
I
got
like
to be
social
3 to
eyewear
5
on that
years
level.
out.
I think it's a genius concept. I think it's great to be able to choose the clutter of your environment.
Mm.
Because essentially, the city can run pretty stripped down without a lot of signage clutter, lighting clutter, and stuff like that. And put these things augmentedly, and just like with ad blockers, you could essentially, oh, I don't like that place. I really don't want to see what specials they got when I'm walking by. It's not something I'm interested in. And you can just knock that little part off your little city block and keep on kicking. You know, I
I
like.
mean, Apple hasn't announced any glasses yet. They've announced hardware.
Now, Apple will most likely release a mixed reality glass either later this year or sometime next year.
Isn't it
I mean,
mostly being
It's going
built
to be
into
a
their phones though?
combination of AR, VR.
what was that, Thump?
Isn't it mostly being built into their phones though?
Yeah, this was the announcement today or yesterday or something. They're all in on AR because every device they own can run AR, and everything you saw was
Apple mixed reality headset to debut expected mid 2021.
okay.
Report came out today.
Yeah, they teased the AR glasses reveal. Yeah, yeah, with a cartoon character video, if I'm not mistaken.
I
Um,
don't know. I heard it. I saw a headline about it, and I just went to an article.
and I'd be completely honest, the idea of Apple making anything to do with AR and VR does not excite me at all because the world knows it'll be 3 revisions behind. And that's the way it'll stay. While everybody else is leaps and bounds ahead, where, with the Microsoft HoloLens, you can physically pick up an engine and take it apart. Oh, here's what went wrong in art. Yeah, it's right. See this piece right here, Joe? Here, take that piece. Oh, yeah, look at it. I mean, that's a thing already.
Yeah.
And with Apple, that'll be coming soon. Right now, you can just stare at it on your iPad. That'll be coming soon. Kind of like the way everybody in the world, going back to 1960 something, has made touch screens. But Apple will not put out a fucking laptop with a touch screen. The closest you can get is a 1/2 inch by 6 inch fucking stupid slider that you can touch. Apple, the king of touchscreens, 1 billion of them out there, won't put it on a laptop. Makes no sense. Everything they do is always 3 revisions behind. And I get it. Well, we'll just sell more product in 7 months, sucker. I get it.
Slack general chat.
It's great business, but it's not what the consumer wants. It's totally not. What is this? The VR. Oh, okay. Well, that's a serious little thing going on there. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the shit you can do in HoloLens. That's the reverb, right? Okay, yeah, it's the reverb. Niantic, they're allegedly coming out with one too now. To get into that competition. There's someone else too. But I mean, that's the perfect point. You sit down like in our racing sims. Okay, what do we got? We got a seat, we got a steering wheel, I got a TV screen to race against.
Got a gear,
So what?
got a gear shifter. Got
Yeah. I got all the shit for a car, but I'm physically not sitting in a car. Now, if I can put on a pair of glasses that augments that in front of me, and I can still see my TV and race, or even be more immersed into what it is I'm racing, sold.
yeah. If it fills the rest of my environment with the
Yep.
aesthetics from what's going on the screen,
Sold.
yeah.
Yeah, completely sold on that. The Sony, no, the Apple rumored AR glasses, VR mixed reality, are being made in conjunction with Sony, allegedly.
Okay, Sony's the PlayStation VR setup is actually a pretty solid VR setup for like very little money.
And what's nice about it is they use micro OLED in their display, which is probably, I think HoloLens does that too, but I'm not sure. I didn't go into the deep design specs. But that's what OLED was designed for in its infancy, was small screen and odd shaped, not just your phone,
Right.
rectangle or square or whatever. It was designed to be used in applications where you really couldn't use other shit because it'd be too big. That's
Right.
where OLED came in perfectly. I do know the Sony deal that's in some filing somewhere. Whether that's true to this day, I don't know. I also know that the price point was supposed to be somewhere close to $1,000 for Apple AR VR glasses, which sounds nice. I like that price point. That's a smart move if you can stick with that, because no one else has been able to.
Right.
So that could be win-win a chicken dinner right there.
Truth.
An AR thing. I mean, it's cool. I mean, we played with it years ago when it first debuted on cell phones. Walk around New York City holding your phone up. Shit pops off buildings.
Yeah.
You can touch shit and get messages, and like you're doing virtual tours of a museum and shit.
Right.
And now you can't do that. It's illegal.
What is that?
You're not allowed to walk around looking at your phone, man. That's illegal in a lot of cities. Believe it or not.
Yeah, but I'm saying to the degree of AR, though, I mean, being able to reintroduce that kind of interactive environment with your city while maintaining focus on the rest of the city still. I mean, we know that this is the reason why we agree with AR.
Yeah, and that's where the Google Glass thing is because it's non-intrusive. You're not looking at a phone. Shit's just popping up there. You've got a depth of field or a field of depth that seemed to work perfectly well through all the beta testing that was done for those people who actually bought, I don't know, $2,000 pair of glasses. I mean, I tried to buy them. Remember, I couldn't
Yeah,
get
you
in.
couldn't end up getting your hands on them. You were so
Yeah,
disappointed.
I would have played with it. I would have loved to have tried it, especially then when I had the AR, all the AR software on my phone. HTC One was one of the first ones out there that had all that AR VR shit because that was HTC and they were building it all. And it was fun to play with. I mean, Ren was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool" for a minute. I'm like, "Yeah, it is. I can see it in a general application though.
Yeah.
I could totally see it. You walking down the street in New York City or Greensboro or San Francisco, and your entire digital life knows. Well, you just left work, and this is the way you're walking, so you must be trying to get to the fucking bus. Well, boom, ding, here's the bus schedule. Just pops up right there in your fucking eye. I mean,
Yep. A
or
reminder that
maybe
your bus leaves in 20 minutes.
yeah, or maybe you see the bus little shelter that you stand at, and all of a sudden you can see the entire fucking schedule
Right.
as if it was like that big instead of walking up to a post and going, all right, yep, that one, okay, and okay, so we're still on time, good. There's the idea of walking around New York City when I was playing it on my phone and shit. I'd be walking by the post office, and it'd be like, hey, the movie Ghostbusters was filmed here, but it really wasn't. It was a backlot issue that was done. Only certain scenes were filmed here, and it was like, oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Like QR codes were a great thing, but you had to scan them. There's a lot of usage for QR codes.
QR codes work really well still.
Yes, especially nowadays with COVID. I mean, that's the only way you get food at a restaurant. Here's your QR code paper you can scan. And touch a menu.
But so the QR system is definitely a system that still works very well. And with like an AR glass though, that's not a problem. Like you're like, oh, but you got to scan it, and it's like, well, you can also just put them naturally in the environment where they're non-obtrusive, and they cause things to happen. Like
Yeah, I have one right here.
Yeah.
I have a QR code in my kitchen. Okay, you walk in the kitchen. What's the Wi-Fi password? Scan the QR code.
Right.
That'll just put you on my Wi-Fi. Because what if I want to change my password? I don't need everybody to know what my passwords are. Just scan the QR code. It's right there on the fridge.
Right.
Doink. It works.
And when I update things, it updates the QR.
Yeah. Is that right? Well, if it was digital, I do have the digital one, but that's all the work the TV. You can scan the fucking digital thingy that came with my TV, and you have all the latest apps to control everything from fucking Netflix, every fucking thing. It's all in a one QR code. It's dynamite. LG, thank you. It's a beautiful fucking thing. But the other one is just printed out. There you go. Scan it. So yeah, I'd have to print a new one out if I changed because I think you would need a new one. I'm sure something in it changes. But I mean, great technology, but it doesn't work when you're walking down the streets in New York City. Oh shit, QR code in front of that building. With your glasses, it'd be great. You just pop up information.
Instant on.
You
You're
want
nearing
more?
this location. Between GPS and QR code reading, you're like, oh, you looked at this building. There's a QR code here. Blah, blah, blah.
Can you imagine what could be done if thieves weren't so fucking thievery out there? People wouldn't be worried about whether or not, oh, I got to, okay, I'm leaving work and I got to shut my Bluetooth off. I got to shut my MPC off. I got to shut this off. And, oh, shit, and I don't want to be on Wi-Fi either. And, can't have got to make sure do not follow is on. I mean, you're missing out on half the world.
Right.
It's really at certain times. And I don't give a fuck about all these new articles that just came out. You'd be surprised. Google sends 20 times more information to their servers than anybody. So what? My experience is so much better.
Yeah, there is a certain level of acceptance that you have to have on that level where you're like, I use this item for the user experience that it offers me. I understand what goes on in order for me to get that experience. Like, I have to give them a bunch of information in order for things to be catered to me like I'm a god.
Do you know
I
how
mean,
much?
can I just please be my godly self and you just leave me the hell out of it?
Do you know how much stupid shit, and I mean stupid shit, I have purchased because of personalized ads?
I mean,
Okay.
I've seen myself with the ability to definitely buy some dumb shit.
I have a silver coin sitting right here on my desk in the shape of a Rolling Stone's tongue
Of course you do.
that I'm giving as a gift to my father because a fucking ad popped up on Facebook.
Oh yeah,
Because it
Facebook
knows,
ads are the notorious ones right now too, because they've got some of the juiciest content.
yeah. So I've been searching for soft doors for the Jeep, rims, tire setup, all sorts of shit to, start moving my attention from the Subi over to the Jeep. And the other day, a fucking Jeep ad pops up. Well, look at that shit. That's cool as fuck. Purchase. Shit. This fucking, this thing, this is 34 bucks? 34 bucks for this? What are you fucking kidding me? And then I'm like, oh, you know what? Now it's 69 bucks because I get 5% off if I order two, and I need two of them. Tumblers. Your to go, your roadies, your to go cup. But they were like Jeep Life. It had design diagrams of Jeeps through the years on it, all sorts of shit all over this tumbler. Cool as fuck. 30-ounce tumbler. I need two of those. 69 bucks plus shipping. Hello, should be here in, I don't know, 2 months because it's probably from China. But personalized advertising, I have bought stupid shit.
I mean, because they're good.
Okay, my xylophone.
They're
I would have
definitely
never.
good at catering to you, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's the experience you wanted. So I mean, if that's not the experience you wanted, then stop.
It's like
Stop
the
it all.
xylophone I
Like there
got
is
here.
an option to stop it all.
When I bought all that whole box of kids' toys, kids' instruments to play Rock Band with, everybody got a kick out of that. I had all these fucking kids' instruments. We were jamming out, making our own fucking music as we were singing. We would be in the percussion section. Well, I was started searching for a bigger xylophone because the one that was in there was missing like three key notes, easily missing three key notes. It wasn't the scale I wanted. I was looking for double scale, and it's really like a scale and a half. So I was like, fuck. So I'm doing all this research, and all these fucking xylophones I'm looking at, they're like, 160 bucks, and get the fuck out of here. I only need like 32 notes on this thing. I don't need. Well, then, sure as shit, one day, one pops up in my fucking timeline on Facebook, or maybe it was Google search or article I was reading because Google knows my search history. And I was like, wow, that's exactly what I'm looking for. It's like 36 notes for 70 bucks. Sold.
Yeah, perfect thing I was looking for.
Oh yeah, because I was so looking for that. I was, but I was never going to buy it because I was okay with the little kid one because I could still rock out, And I ran. I banged the shit out of that on the xylophone. It sounds cool. Everybody has a good time as we're drinking. It's fun. Someone picks up something else. I got triangles, and you gave me the fucking cowbell. I got a wooden block here. There's all sorts of shit to just bang out on. Had to buy it though. Personalized advertising. Had to buy it.
Yo.
So I don't live in fear of sharing too much. It don't matter. They got you anyway. You got an easy pass and a driver's license. They got you. What's worse? You're collecting and giving away too much data that somebody hacks that and then you get identity theft. Well, you know what? I've been there, done that too. Hasn't stopped me from doing anything as far as the data I'm releasing. Just I think the experience is better when you just go all in. Fuck it. Go all in. Until they tax your data usage. Like they want to tax how many miles you put on your car.
Right?
I actually don't agree. I don't disagree with it. I think the gas tax is stupid at this point. All they do is keep raising it. So why not switch it over to like a mileage tax, like a tax for using the roadways that somebody's got to fix. I just I see the law. I don't know. It really depends. That'd just be some other tax they just keep raising anyway. Kind of like the tolls on the in New Jersey that were only supposed to be there to benefit the building of the roadway. Right, Ren? Wasn't it the building of the roadway?
Mm-hmm.
And then some maintenance, and then the tolls are supposed to go away. And then they did
Oh,
that
the tolls are supposed to go away like
20 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're going up 3 more times in the next 6 years.
Why not, right?
Why not make it subscription based? Everything else is subscription based. Why not do away with tolls at all and just do away with them and make it subscription based? This is where you live. This is your subscription per month to drive on the roads.
Ooh, the
I mean,
2022 GMC Hummer EB number 001
is that being unveiled today or tomorrow? I thought it was tomorrow.
at Barrett brings 2.5 million.
Oh, okay. It's funny. It's called a GM Hummer. They sold off Hummer
It's a
to
GMC.
oh GMC. Right. That's right. GMC bought it from Saab or some shit like that.
GMC Hummer EV.
Yeah,
Yep,
I saw
sold at Barrett Jackson for 2.5 million.
2.5 mil, huh? Oh yeah, it was revealed today. Okay, I guess that's how they revealed it. The all electric. See it in oh no, actually they're 4321 is the reveal. But that's when you'll be able to order one too. How the Hummer even come back is beyond me, and how it fell back into GM is beyond.
Tesla's Cybertruck brought the Hummer back.
Yeah, but the government forced GM to sell Hummer. It was sold to like Saab or some shit like that.
Technically, it was bought by a Chinese motor company, but
Yeah, so how did it fall back into GM's hands? Because GMC is General Motors. It's the same company.
I saw an article about that the other day. I didn't read it, but
Yeah, me neither.
I'll have to go back and check that out
yeah,
again.
I'm just curious, and we don't
But,
have to do that now. I was just very curious on how it fell back into their hands.
I don't
I mean, I know they bought themselves out of
AM General
all right, American
began
Motors.
producing the H1 in 1992. Production ceased in 2006.
Right.
AM General Hummer H2 ended in 2009.
Oh, 9, okay.
General Motors South Africa. No. Shreveport, Louisiana in 2005. And then Kaliningrad, Russia, H2. That was their production years. It's not. GM is active in licensing the Hummer. Various companies have licensed the Hummer trademark for use on colognes, flashlights, bicycle shoes, coats, hats, laptops, blah, blah, blah.
Right. AM General owns it. They sold the rights to GM, the name, so that they can manufacture. Excuse me, not manufacture. So they can brand it.
A Hummer.
Right. It's always been produced by AM General.
AM General.
Which is, if I'm not mistaken, it's still General Motors. It's an American heavy vehicle.
Parent company, GMC, General Motors.
Yeah. Right.
According to Wikipedia, you take that for what it is.
Manufactured in South Bend,
Yeah,
Indiana.
but I thought, what was it? Saturn and Hummer both were sold off. I
Yeah.
thought that's what it was after the.
That's what I'm.
The
yeah.
big fallout.
But they were forced
After the.
in the buyout.
Stabilizing. All right. Well, that is it for me this evening. I have to get myself ready to go.
8-Bit Bros, Tuesday rather. No, it's Wednesday. Yeah, that's the day it is. We'll catch you next Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah. Same bad time, same bad station.